Alright, so I have just recently put out a video on the coronavirus, but in that I found an article that I thought was quite important that I didn't want to slide over because they do actually mention something that I think we should pay attention to. We're actually seeing a lot of media hype around coronavirus. That's all we're hearing about, actually. But we know that they do have a tendency to seed some kind of flu or some kind of disease into the populace seems like every 2 years now, seems to be ramping it up. Now, what I would say is look at the areas where people are being mostly affected, the geographical areas. Look at the physical preconditions that some people have who tend to be suffering most. Be aware, be clean, eat clean and drink clean. But the main thing here is if you have an issue with GMO and seedless food, what about these? When is there going to be some kind of a discussion on this? What experiments have been done to ensure the safety of humans, animals consuming these synthetic, biologically produced foods? What are the long-term effects of consuming synthetic, biologically produced foods? Can these synthetically, biologically produced foods or additives even change our DNA code in any way? That's how the product is produced in the first place. Are there any nutritional values to this? And when were they going to tell us? Do we have a choice? They've actually put it in something as simple as vanilla, vanilla is an everyday product that we use. Most of us have a sweet tooth. Article in Old Thinker News. FBI agent: synthetic biology could reduce our population. Old Thinker News, May 28, 2014, by Daniel Taylor. FBI agent: synthetic biology can reduce our population by significant percentages. The New York Times reported earlier this month on a conference held at MIT on May 1st that discussed synthetic biology. The conference gathered an interesting group of scientists and Homeland Security representatives. One of the law enforcement speakers at the conference was FBI agent Carmine Negro. He is quoted by the Times as saying, regarding synthetic biology, "These technologies do not just pose a risk to individual buildings or cities, but if cleverly deployed, can reduce our population by significant percentages." FBI agent Carmine Negro's PowerPoint presentation began ominously with a quote from philosopher Edmund Burke: "When bad men combine, the good must associate, else they will fall, one by one, an unpitied sacrifice in a contemptible struggle." This disturbing comment comes as synthetic biology is being quietly inserted into the food supply this year via synthetic biology vanilla. This is why this is a really important update. Easter is coming. Everybody's going to be baking cakes. I know a lot of ladies, gentlemen, whoever loves to bake, they're going to be in the kitchen. Vanilla is an essential ingredient in so many of confectionaries and foods that I think it's vital for people to have this information. Synthetic biology, according to a 2005 European Commission paper, is the engineering of biology, the synthesis of complex biologically based or inspired systems which display functions that do not exist in nature. Unlike the older science of splicing genes from different species together, synthetic biology is seeking to create whole new organisms that do not exist on Earth. MIT's agenda for the May 1st meeting states that just as analog digital and digital analog Converters provide the interface between computers and the physical world of sensors and actuators. Biology digital and digital biology converters are allowing computers to create and control biological worlds. While synthetic biology is being sold as a solution for renewable energy, health and food production, advanced technology in the hands of the right people can wreak havoc. University of Texas Professor Dr. Eric Pianka was visited by the FBI in 2006 after making a presentation to students that openly called for 90% of humanity to be wiped out with an airborne Ebola virus. Investigative journalist Paul Joseph Watson pointed out that Dr. Death, I won't say Diath this time, types across academia and their followers have access to the very weapons of mass destruction that would enable them to enact their final solution. As revealed by The Age, Nobel Prize-winning Australian microbiologist Sir Macfarlane Burnet secretly urged the Australian government in 1947 to develop bioweapons for use against the overpopulated countries of Southeast Asia. In a 1947 meeting with the New Weapons and Equipment Development Committee, the group recommended that the possibilities of an attack on the food supplies of Southeast Asia and Indonesia using biological agents would be considered by a small study group. The anthrax attacks that occurred shortly after 9/11 exposed the underbelly of this system of mad scientists, along with the murder of Dr. David Kelly in 2003. Investigative journalist and filmmaker Bob Cohen examined the anthrax case and concluded that an international biological weapons mafia is operating in total secrecy. Will discussions about regulating synthetic biology include the danger of radical insiders plotting mass death? Okay, I mean that is really important, but I think that one of the most important things is the fact that this synthetic vanilla is being introduced into the food supply. Please pass this on to friends, anybody you know who's into sweet stuffs. I mean, many of us have a sweet tooth. No doubt it's going to be in the confectionaries that are available in the shops. Then it's a question of whether or not, when you're baking, whether you're going to be looking for real vanilla pods or whether you're going to be going for artificial vanilla. Personally, down in Jamaica, I can't see anything else but artificial vanilla, and it wouldn't surprise me if it's already in our food supply down here, because I have seen vanilla down here which doesn't look or taste anything like vanilla. So please pass this on.